Today we're gonna be talking about friends. What a real friend is, who a friend could be to you, and who's not a friend. The definition of friend by Google's dictionary, a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. That's kind of vague if you ask me. But hey, that's the noun definition of the friend. Now let's go to the informal. They have several similar words: companion, boon companion, best friend, confidant, intimate, soulmate, alter ego, playfellow, classmate, schoolmate, workmate, ally, brother, pal, sister. Now, let's get into it. You are now tuned in to the Favorite Talk podcast. Now let's talk about it. I grew up being friends and knowing how to be a friend. And basically knowing how to maintain a friendship. You know, as kids, you basically bond. And I remember coming up, I used to get into a lot of fights as a youngster. And majority of my friends came from the fist fights we would have in the neighborhood. It would be almost as if you couldn't fight, you really didn't have survival. I knew if we got into it, you were gonna be the weakest link, and that might lead to both of us getting our ass kicked. You know, so as kids, you know, it's funny things that lead you into having friendship with people. You know, you get to learning that Bobby up the street has a basketball goal and he doesn't mind the whole neighborhood, you know, hooping at his house. You know, and that person became a friend of the neighborhood, and usually he was the likable person, you know. And then you had a friend that would get all the video games on time. He or she would get the video games right when they drop, and guess what? We over there all taking turns playing John Madden, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's a whole gathering going on. But but back then there were things that led you to being friends with somebody, befriending somebody, you know, as a kid. You know, parents mainly know what a friend is. They've been around the corner and then some, you know what I'm saying? They can tell you because they can spot it, you know. But you gotta understand, they were young too. It's not much difference, it's just the time. But people are the same, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that changes is the time. You know, the years. It's 2023 now. It's gonna change in a few more months. That's the only thing that changed, but people are the same. You know, you gotta think about it. The same shit they were doing today, they were doing it back in the day. It was just a different time. You know, call it a different time zone, you know what I'm saying? But today, you have to definitely know the difference between calling everybody your friend and actually knowing what a friend is, you know what I'm saying? If I see you walking, and you ain't got no car, bro, or little mama or whatever, you know what I'm saying, my homegirl, my homeboy, and I see you walking, and I'm driving by, and you don't know that's me because I'm behind tent, guess what? I'm gonna do more than hit that horn. I'm gonna pick you up because I would want you to do that for me, you feel me? It could be raining, it could be snowing, hell, it could be summertime, Texas heat in the August time, you know what I'm saying, just straight fucking hot. Man, if you see me walking or whatever, you see me sweating and shit out here, man, pull over and see what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, that'll stop a lot of people from making fucked up decisions. Because let's face it, a lot of people get selfish and then they start making selfish decisions. And then that'll lead them into making a problem for themselves, you know? You can look at the news today when people commit suicide or they go out there and do some shit that's gonna lead them to getting locked up for a lifetime. A friend could have checked on that person before they started doing what they did and went out, you know what I mean? All you gotta do is check up on a person. You might be able to talk them out of anything that they're going through. But that's part of being a friend, you know what I'm saying? All that falls in the lines of being a friend, you know what I mean? You gotta check up on your partner. Matter of fact, they made a commercial saying about that. You gotta check on your people. Check on your peoples, man. Check on your peoples, man. You just gotta know the definition of friend, and you gotta have people in your circle that just don't agree with you on anything. Like, don't agree with me because I got money, or don't agree with me because I'm a ladies' man, or don't agree with me because you think I'm the smartest person in the room because I could make a mistake at any given time. And if you agree with me on that mistake, guess what? That's your penalty too. The word friends anyway, the I is before the E for a reason. I have to know how to be a friend before I can be a friend to everybody else. So, you know, in the essence of it being you have to know how to be a friend before you can be a friend to anybody else. There's so many yes men out there. People just agree with you or agree with other people just to be agreeing with them. They could be totally wrong and they agree with them. That yes man is definitely liked by somebody. You know what I'm saying? Most people only hang with a particular person because they only agree with them. You know what I'm saying? That's the only person that agrees with you out of some of the decision making that you make. And that's the reason why y'all kick it. You know what I'm saying? But the moment that person says, nah, I don't agree with that, man. Look, nah, I ain't feeling that. It's a problem. I'm telling you. The worst thing you could do is tell a delusional motherfucker the word no. You know what I'm saying? And that no, you'll swear that no was a gun. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as you say it, it just hits some people. You know what I'm saying? And you see the true colors. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. You got to know what a friend is, man. A friend ain't no yes man. A friend gonna tell you when you're making a mistake. They gonna tell you, hey man, I ain't feeling this. You understand? Take heed. Don't be no yes man out here, man. If that person your partner, you can always give them some game and not expect resistance. You know what I'm saying? But if that's your partner and you trying to give them game and they give you nothing but resistance, I'm talking about they give you, when I say resistance, I'm talking about they give you a whole problem about whatever it is. You could be telling the person, hey man, don't go down that street, bro. It's too many potholes. You know, your partner know you just got these rims, but he trying to tell you don't go down the street because of them potholes. You gonna go down the street anyway, and guess what? You crack a rim. Now you mad, you feel me? But you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. You understand? Because your partner, who's your friend, they tried to, you know. Now, a hating ass motherfucker gonna withhold that information, be like, oh man, I ain't gonna tell this nigga nothing. He want to turn down the street, let that be him. Man, I done seen it as a youngster. I've been in the car with people, and we get pulled over. Just say, you know, dude might have a little weed on him, whatever, and it's my partner driving or some shit like that there. Dude in the passenger side gonna put the weed up under the motherfucking seat. And then when the laws come check the shit, nobody wanna claim it. But we all know it's this nigga weed. You feel what I'm saying? That's that whole shit. Those are not friends, you know what I'm saying? I got a homie right now. Motherfucker planted some shit on him. And he was in the car with the dude. And the dude planted some shit on him. You know what I'm saying? You might as well say he did because he didn't claim his issue. So that gave my partner a whole charge where he's fighting it right now. This shit is real, man. You gotta be mindful of who you let in your circle. Don't just be having a motherfucker around you just because they agree with you. That's like one of the worst things you could do other than calling everybody your friend. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my mama for teaching me that lesson. It's a cold world when you don't have no friends, man. You know what I'm saying? You could be in desperate need of something, financially or spiritually. If you don't have a friend to lean on or just to get advice from, or you can call and vent to and talk it out. Because let's face it, nobody's perfect. Everybody's gonna be faced with a problem. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a friend to reach out to, or like I say, to just communicate with, it's a cold world, man. And when you grow up, you learn that some friendships fade. You know, not everybody's gonna stand the test of time. You know, and with that being said, today, friendship is not so much. A lot of people are opportunists, you know, more than friends. It's more about what you can do for a person to make them your friend, you know what I'm saying? Because people nowadays, let's face it, you have a clique of people that are all bonded through certain reasons. Some people have money and that's what brings them together. Some people have no money and that's why they can relate. So, you know, it's variables that make people friends, you know what I'm saying, today. But if you look at it, it's really this person an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? This person's an opportunist. Because when you evaluate everything, it's like, why is this person my partner? Is it because I got a nice house or, you know, whatever it is? People are opportunists today. It's all about the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? If they can't get that up out of you, nothing beneficial, then it's like on to the next person that I can win over. But I will say this though, there are true friends out there, you know. In my opinion, the definition of a friend is two people, two brains, two hearts, but one soul. And what I mean by that is, just think about it. Most people you call friends, y'all think alike. Most people you call friends, y'all have the same likes. Most people that are friends, you know what I'm saying, especially for a long time, they established a bond that's unbreakable. Or they both have families and they were both the black sheeps of the family, and they both accelerated to a certain level now in society. And that's what makes them friends, because both of them are successful. You know, you see that every day. But the main thing is knowing the definition of a friend, man. If I feel awkward and we're at a place, my partner feel awkward. You know what I'm saying? If my partner feels awkward and he's in a place, you understand what I'm saying? We're in a certain area, I feel awkward too. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go against the grain. It ain't gonna be no resistance, you know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it later, you know what I'm saying? If my homegirl tells me she's uncomfortable when a certain person walks through the door, guess what I'm gonna do? I understand where she's coming from, so her next action doesn't matter what it is, I'm with it. If she decides to leave or she says, hey, let's go, then guess what? I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what friends are for, man. You gotta have your friends back, especially when it's not breaking a bone, you ain't going to jail. There's nothing really wrong that can really happen from making a decision like that. You understand what I'm saying? Think about it. You do a lot of things that your friends do. You know what I'm saying? If your friends like to play basketball, you usually play basketball. If your friends try out for a particular position on the football squad in school, you're gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The dilemma happens when he or she doesn't make the team, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know. But at the end of the day, friends are the bondage between growth, because as you grow up, a person that's your friend, you have a more chance of relating to them than a person that just friendly, or a person that, you know, you just get along with. I mean, just because I get along with you doesn't mean that I'm your friend, you know what I'm saying? And I know it sounds cold, but that's the difference between associates and friends. You have to know the difference, you know what I'm saying? If we're doing business and you just get along with me, or we get along with each other, we're just associates, you know what I'm saying? We're only socializing because of this one current event, which is doing business. But throughout business, you might find some friends, though, don't get me wrong, but you have to know the definition of friends before you even call a person your friend. You have to know the signs of a person not being a friend. That way it doesn't hurt later on. You dig what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. If I'm your homeboy, I'm not gonna try to holler at your wife. I'm not gonna make no passes at your wife. None of that, you know what I mean? And if you my partner, you're not gonna look at my girl, just period, you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times when you look at what destroys friends today, is usually money or a female. Or if you, the opposite, and you're a woman, it's usually money, the jealousy, or this guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy when you think about it. You know, the longer you take to make friends and develop that bond, just within the blink of an eye, you can destroy that bond. But if you're a friend of somebody, you're not even thinking about anything or any treachery, no backstabbing, none of that. Like, let me tell you this one time. Let me tell you this story one time. I had a homeboy, right? And let's just say his name is Christopher, right? So Christopher met this female that was my homegirl too. You know what I'm saying? And her name was, let's just say, Roxanne. Christopher and Roxanne. So I would see Christopher, and he would always come around when Roxanne was there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they used to agree together in the conversations, and I was like, oh, okay. I would sit back, and I'm like, oh, they like each other. You know what I'm saying? And it really ain't my business, but both of them my partners. You know what I'm saying? But they said I'm the one that is not the gatekeeper, but Christopher wouldn't know Roxanne if it wasn't for me, and Roxanne wouldn't know Christopher if it wasn't for me. You understand what I'm saying? So one day, Christopher comes over, Roxanne, not there at the spot. So first thing he says is, "Man, you seen Roxanne?" And I'm like, "Nah, I ain't seen her, you ain't got her number?" He was like, no. And he was like, you got it? And I was like, "Yeah, I got it, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't finna give it to you if she ain't gave it to you." And I would do it vice versa for him if she asked for his number. It's just me being a friend, and I don't want to be in the mix to any drama. So he was like, oh man. I'm like, "Bro, quit all that. I ain't even trying to wedge nothing between y'all." I'm like, "Nah, man, you supposed to get the number if you feeling it like that, because I see what's going on." You know what I'm saying? So later on that night, Roxanne comes over, and she kind of tipsy and shit, So I was like, all right, cool, and I care about my partners, man. If you too tipsy, I ain't gonna let you drive. So I didn't let her drive. So she ended up spending the night, right? And I slept on the couch. And when the next day came, there was a knock at the door. My boy Christopher was there. So I'm in like some shorts and a white beater, and I got some house shoes on. She got like a sports bra on, and she dropped down to her panties, but she had a blanket on, Christopher comes in, first thing he thinking, I know what he thinking that me and her messing around. So I'm like, I'm waiting for it, I'm just waiting for it. And I just see the expression just through his eyes. The eyes are the window pane to the soul. You can always tell about a person's demeanor just through the eyes, at least 90% of the time, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Hey bro, let me get some water," right? And just like how he said it, you know what I mean? That wasn't his voice. I felt the frustration. So I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, man," you know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, he don't never ask for nothing, especially just don't walk to my refrigerator, you know what I'm saying? Especially he just don't walk to my refrigerator. So I knew this was awkward, and I knew what he was thinking. So Roxanne tried to start talking to him. I guess she probably felt the same way and seen the same vibe, you know what I mean? So she started talking to him. She asked him a question, and it was like a pause. I don't know if he didn't want to answer it or he just straight up had an attitude. I don't know. But he eventually asked me, what was I doing today? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Man, I'm finna get ready and I'm finna go out here and start filming." You know what I'm saying? This is around about the time I was doing little documentaries and stuff, So he was like, "All right, man, well, I'll check with you later." And I was like, "Okay, all right, cool." So when he shut the door, I didn't even get a chance to just really like shut the door behind him. He shut the door and it was like a little aggression behind that door. I'm like, hold on, man, you know what I'm saying? I went after him, I walked outside after him, and I was like, "Hey, bro, I know what you thinking." I'm like, "Me and Roxanne, nah, that's my partner, that's my home girl." He was like, "Oh, I ain't even say nothing, and you act like you guilty. All I wanted to do was get a number, no. And I'm like, "Bro, you had a chance to talk to her in there. You had a chance to get a number right there." And then, that kind of changed our friendship, and I'm not even gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? And ever since that day, I learned that whether a woman is trying to be liked or not be liked, when there's two men and there's a friendship going on, somebody always end up feeling a certain kind of way, you know what I'm saying? Especially when one of the men start messing with that particular woman. So I've always learned just from that scenario, when you call a woman your friend, keep her in that friend zone, you know what I'm saying? For the man and the woman, when they have friendship and it's like a unbreakable bond, they eventually connect like through a strong wavelength, like nobody can break that shit. So I just let you know, when a man and a woman really have friendship, they can stand the test of time and they can go a long way. You know what I'm saying? But just having a friendship in general. Now, Christopher, on the other hand, you know, it's one of the ones where it used to be an everyday, I rock with you, to now it's like, all right, I see you, or if I see you in traffic, you know, I hit the horn. Yeah, that awkwardness, you know, the shit never happened. Like, nothing happened between me and Roxanne, but he thinks it in his mind, and that shit altered our friendship. So right then and there, I knew he was a friend, but it's like, you're a shallow one. You know, you couldn't be my bestie, you know what I mean? And the older you get, you're only gonna have a certain amount of friends, and you're only gonna have like one or two best friends. That's just from my experience. You know, I don't know about you, but I do know you gotta know how to pick your friends, because they'll lead you to self-destruction, or they'll lead you to entrepreneurship. Let me just say it like that. Because when it comes down to everything, the whole dynamic of being a friend is having a person's back and knowing they got your back. If you don't got that going on, then that person is not a friend. That person more or less could be an associate. I'm not saying that y'all can't get no money together. I'm just saying don't put too much dependency on this person. You know what I'm saying? Be independent when it comes down to what you expect from situations, you know. Matter of fact, anybody that's resistant to what you got going on, especially if you in your heart and you feel like you're being productive, you're not taking from anybody, you're not jealous of anyone, you put good karma out there, good energy. If a person's resistant to that, guess what? They have a problem, and that is a red flag. Now, it's up to you to peep the red flag now, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, we don't want to tarnish no good friendships. It's just like being in a relationship with somebody and y'all get to the point to where there's no growth anymore and neither parties want to reconcile nor split. So it's like you just stuck there. You know, and friendships can be like that too. Now, I'm not saying that a friendship is to be used. No, it's definitely a safety net. If you ever get into a financial bind, a real friend is gonna have your back. You know what I'm saying? If they can't help you totally, they're gonna help you a little bit. You have to know how to return that. That's another thing. It can't be a half-sided friendship. If you're dealing with a person that's half-sided, you're doing all the work, you make sure this person good. I don't care if you picking them up for work, and then the moment they get a car, they don't even come by just to show you the car. You understand what I'm saying? People get selfish like that now. That's just a scenario, you know. It gets deeper than that, you know. You can get hired at a job through a friend and you just don't say the simple words like, I appreciate you getting me hired, bro. Or if you're a female and this woman told you to come to church and you've been denying, and she finally told you, hey, I'm tired of you denying me, come on to church. And then guess what? That day you go to church, you find your husband. You understand? Well, you better give a thanks to the woman that was trying to promote you to go, you know, to the right direction of finding your husband, because you might not find him in that club. But yeah, man, anybody that has a little resistance to what you have going on, usually they have a tendency to not be your friend. And you're gonna argue with them, and even if you don't argue, in your mind, you're gonna just have an opinion about how this person is and the fact that they just don't wanna do the right thing, or they just don't wanna think outside of the box. You know, that's the worst thing you could do, is have a closed-minded friend, because it hurts. And if it hurts to the point to where you start feeling that stress and that anxiety from your partner not wanting to change their scenario, then guess what? You end up drowning in that same cesspool. And sometimes you gotta let go of unhealthy friendships. And like I say, all friendships are not meant to last. You do learn something from every friendship. You understand what I'm saying? And yes, it's definitely a blessing, and you're definitely lucky if you have a friend, you know what I'm saying, that's been with you through thick and thin. Not many people have that. I listen to a lot of people say game is sold and it's not to be told. Well, me, I think that's some BS. That's some crock bullshit. If you my partner and you withholding back information that could possibly help me become a better human being, you're a fucking hater. Just straight up and down. I couldn't say it no other way. even if I was trying to be nice. You know, if you really want to see a person excel to the next level, you're not gonna hold them back. So if you have any type of game to give them, you're definitely gonna spread that. There's no doubt about that. A lot of people don't want to be passed up in life. It's just like a record label. If this one particular artist is the star and they got it, everybody that's on the record label that's an artist, yeah, you have your own identity, but you do have to have thick skin to know that the label might just be putting all their money into this one artist that's the star. I mean, like QC with the Migos, they were making money off the Migos before they just really ventured off and started looking for other talent. If somebody wants to see you excel, they're gonna give you all the game in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really believe in that game is sold, not to be told. That's just a fly saying, and I get it, I dig it. I used to say it when I was younger. But then when I got the facts of everything and I started understanding that no, I want my fellow sister or I want my fellow brother to win out here. I don't want to hold them back. You know what I'm saying? It's like having some gems in the closet and you never use them, but you look at it like it's trash, and then somebody come behind you who can definitely use it, and you know it, but you don't give it to them. But again, you know, that's to each his own. If you got somebody that you see winning out here, regardless if you don't give them $1, you might want to always give them good advice. So no, game is not to be sold. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely to be told. You know, each one teach one. That's how we reach one. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, whatever level you on, when it comes down to who's in your circle, if you want them to advance, man, you gotta give them a piece of the pie, man. You can't hold that shit to yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like money. You can't motherfucker take that shit to the grave. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do with it? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? With all that game and all that wisdom that you got, you ain't gonna sell it to everybody. So you're gonna be having a lot of it backlog. You feel what I'm saying? So what are you gonna do with it? You know? Now, some people give the game to their kids, and that'd probably be the only way they get free game up. But hell, what if you don't have kids? Who you gonna share your knowledge to? When you write a book, guess what? Or you write a diary, guess what? And you die, and somebody picked that up and they actually read it, you still gave that game up for free. And I know it might seem a little far-fetched, but I'm just kicking the facts of actually helping someone, you know what I'm saying, with a little bit of game, you know what I mean? Don't abuse your friendship. And what I mean by that is, treat that person with the same care and concern that you would treat yourself. Respect factor is like a mirror reflection. What you see is what you get back. You know what I'm saying? So what you give out is what you get back, especially when people catch on. If a person feel like their friendship has been abused and taken for granted, they're gonna be on a whole nother level with you. You're gonna see the change. And if you know your friend, that's the moment when you say, hey, yo, what's up? Let's face it, a lot of people don't have it in them to apologize and just have a care or concern about how another person feels. There's no communication today. It's like a lack of that shit. You know, when somebody's disrespected, I see it all the time, especially when I go outside. I could be at a liquor store. When I go outside, I see people and somebody might feel disrespected. And they don't even talk it out. It just turns to straight mayhem. No matter if they beating each other up or they shooting it out. It's always a lack of communication because people get into it behind the smallest things. So that brings me to another point. If you and your friends, y'all bump heads and then, you know, it's about something very minor and then it turns to major because each party doesn't want to hear one another, you know it has to be somebody to play adult. It has to be a bigger person, you know. But now if no one plays the bigger part, guess what happens? Then it's a conflict, cause and effect. A motherfucker gonna get mad, they gonna get to feeling a certain kind of way, and then it might be a little threats exchanged. It might be people raising their voice, cutting each other off when you trying to make a point. All that shit pisses a person off, and there it goes. But if this is your partner, one of y'all gotta understand that you got to calm that and tone that down because it ain't even that serious. But now if it is some serious shit, guess what? It probably ain't even that much talking involved. You understand me? Don't abuse friendship, man, because once you lose that, it's really hard for you to get that back. 90% of the people don't get it back, and when they do get it back, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's you that don't feel the same or if it's that opposite party that doesn't feel the same. It's a change there. Something isn't the same there. Man, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta know what a friend is, and you gotta know how to be a friend. That's the best friendship going on today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it again. You gotta know how to be a friend, huh? You gotta know how to be a friend, and you gotta know what a friend is. You have to know what a friend is. See, because when you know those two factors, you have a tendency to stay aware. Not many people are meant to have friends. I know some straight loners out here. You know what I'm saying? Some straight loners to the point to where they never had a partner that they was close to. You always see them by themselves. You know, and I get it. You know, they call that an introvert. Yeah, man, not many people are meant to have friends in life, just like not many people are meant to have a best friend. Some people just have associates their whole lives. Or some people just have friends their whole lives and they never know what it is to have a friend that's a best friend. A true friend, they will stand the test of time. Believe that, you know. And with that, I close out with this. If you have a friend in your corner, on your team, your homie, on your street, or just someone you want to make amends with, rekindle an old friendship, you know, reach out to them. Let them know that they're appreciated, you know, because being appreciated goes a long way. When someone respects you, man, that's like a value that you would cherish for a lifetime. Let's just keep it real. When someone respects you, you love that shit. But the moment you feel disrespect or you feel somebody stepping on you as a person, taking your kindness for weakness, oh man, that burn, that desire, that pain, that passion, all that you feel at one moment, yeah, the opposite of that is knowing how to be a friend and appreciating a person. So if you want someone to appreciate you, definitely let them know they're appreciated. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all future uploads.